in exchange for the Aatrox. So Solo probably going to try and take this one. This could be a MikeYeung pick, though. Definitely has played it in the jungle.
Definitely has, and of course, Sivir being taken away, pretty valuable here as well. That's going to be denying that away. Sivir plus Yuumi, a very common bot lane combo, and that one's going to be gone. If they want to play another enchanter here for Hakuho, Lux is still available if they want to grab it before the second ban phase. And now it's FlyQuest's turn. See what they want to grab.
Ezreal does go super well with Yuumi, so have a very safe high poke damage lane. You can also do things more aggressively like the Lucian, try and get in there. Lucian's pretty good against Sivir regardless.
I'm waiting for the Twitch Yuumi combo just to stealth during the lane phase and you open up from there.
We haven't seen Twitch in such a long time. I'm kind of with you on that one, but we are going to have Corki probably the mid lane.
Yeah.
So magic damage here already picked up for FlyQuest.
Okay. Ooh, okay, this is going to be interesting. Of course, you are probably playing double marksman here. WildTurtle almost exclusively plays those physical damage ranged carries, but it also means the team is a little bit low on crowd control. Mid lane often brings that, but Corki does not. Rek'Sai not much of an engaged tank either.
Yeah, none from the mid lane. Also, Yuumi, with the ultimate, you can have 3-hit snares, but generally it feels like they're gonna need some sort of front line here. You know, flashing in for Rek'Sai is basically the only tool so far for FlyQuest, so they might have Viper on the top side bring something with a little bit more CC or be an initiator. Because right now they don't have much in the means of going forward. Meanwhile, Echo Fox have huge initiation locked in. Nautilus is great for starting things up for Aatrox, because all the Aatrox needs is something to actually start the fight, and then it's such a big team fighting power with the ult, getting resets, and Sivir speed.
Absolutely the case here. We maybe see something like Varus or even Ashe would be weird, but would be engaged from the bottom lane for a Turtle side. We'll see what FlyQuest does put through, or if Viper is indeed on a tank here. Gragas dropped off. We have seen Gragas Yasuo get really popular, and if the Aatrox was indeed top lane, Gragas jungle, Yasuo mid could have been a possibility here for Phoenix. Either way, Echo Fox could need a jungler based on where Aatrox is going, so the Gragas ban is decent. Nautilus almost certainly is support for Hakuho here. We're seeing still AD carries banned away from WildTurtle. There's the Ezreal you mentioned a little bit ago, Kobe.
Yeah, those are both that we mentioned, so looks like the top two partners left for Yuumi taken down. I mean, I have seen some people do Caitlyn with it, just for our super annoying pushing early lane. Caitlyn can push them under tower, and then Yuumi can fire off constant harassments.
As long as you feel safe against Nautilus hooks, as long as you can track the opposing jungler. With Gragas and Elise both gone, they are removing a lot of magic damage jungle options. Force magic damage from Solo or Phoenix as a result. Rumble has been popular in various places in the world, not a crazy ton in North America. But also a good pick if you are worried about magic damage to your composition.
I do like things. Oh, never mind. There you go. Olaf there with the charge forward with Sivir. They've got a very heavy dive composition here. Sivir speed boost, Nautilus ult, and everyone just charges in to try and take down FlyQuest. So the game plan for Echo Fox very clear from Champion Select. We shall see what the answer here from FlyQuest is. Are they going to get Viper some sort of split pusher, or are they going to actually try and bring a little bit more consistency for their team fight?
Well, it can kind of do both. This is Kennen going to be locked in at this point, and that's almost assuredly a top laner here. Now, it's mostly AP Kennen, which means he can be a team fighter, but it's another
lot of AP.
Unreliable engage, though, is all that. You have to try to get the flank in. You have to land the rest of the ult before they flash away. Xayah will be locked in alongside, so WildTurtle is the physical damage key on this roster, and that will scale well. But there's really no tank on the team.
Yeah, they're relying on pure damage and some stuns from Kennen and Rek'Sai. And that is gonna be the game plan. We'll see if it works out. Often teams like this do need to get early advantages and keep up the pressure on those turrets. Phoenix bringing back the Cassiopeia here versus Corki.
And this, again, makes sense. We've been talking the whole draft about how hard it is for FlyQuest to engage. Cassiopeia loves not getting jumped on, throwing miasma at the run-at-you composition of Kennen and Rek'Sai. So this feels like a good pick based on opposing team. They needed magic damage anyway. We have seen Phoenix put on some great Cassio games before, and I like Echo Fox's draft.
All right. They're setting up too with MikeYeung on a very powerful early game champion here in the Olaf.
Split 2-1 in
3 games with Academy. Should be feeling confident. I also like it into Rek'Sai, post level 6 especially. Being able to pop your ultimate means you actually get to win that duel. Don't have to worry about the knockups.
Could be very, very strong. MikeYeung's debut back in the LCS. Last we saw him on this stage was with TSM, where they famously had a disappointing previous year. After dropping him, it got a lot better, but let's see what happens now going forwards. Team getting ready to go onto stage. Both these, he's hoping to reverse their fates from 2019 summer so far. And I think it's possible. Both these teams do look very good. They've both made new roster changes. I want to keep in mind again that Wadid is a recent addition to FlyQuest, was finally eligible last week, but they didn't, or last week of regular season. They actually did play 2 weeks ago. Didn't pick up wins, but I still think he's a very good player, and it will be forward momentum here for FlyQuest, and EchoFox hoping that with MikeYeung, they can do the same. We are onto the Rift for the last game of the first round robin of LCS 2019 summer.
All right. I should initially also be on the Olaf here. MikeYeung, you definitely have a strong invade for EchoFox, so they could try and get a deeper ward down. Both teams are spreading out just to look for defensive vision at the moment, but you definitely always have to worry about that possibility. Looks like we had a little bit of exchange, and Pobelter plus Wadid come out with a little damage dealt to Phoenix.
Sweeps it around the brush, no one's in there, and just find a jump around and press W back and forth.
11 gold for that Spell Thief's procs for Wadid on Phoenix as well, so a little bit of extra change. Meanwhile, we might have a delayed invade trying to utilize that Olaf.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, here's Hakuho leading the way. You could always technically go for a flash Q, but he's actually going to get thrown away by Prowling Projectile. WildTurtle holds his nerve. An aggressive Trinket Ward spotted out by FlyQuest, and now they'll know that Santorin will be spotted when he does his Raptors.
All right, let's see if the bottom side actually fake leashes for Santorin, or if they just show in lane and let EchoFox know they're starting on the top side. Looks like they are delaying a little bit, not using any extra mana on the red buff or anything though, so should be fairly well aware. Santorin starting the Wolves though.
Yeah, very interesting. Not on a buff right away, but it does make sure he's completely unseen at the very first beginning of the gank, because he knows that no one got wards this far down. Once they see him on this Trinket Ward, though, if he does go to Raptors, they will, if they check, know exactly what path he has taken by grabbing one camp without a buff on it. And it looks like, yeah, managed to bypass the whole thing. So Santorin pretty wisely gets around the jungle without getting spotted. They can guess that it was Wolves to red, but they don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. Yes, the deep ward was put down by EchoFox, but Turtle was there and they saw the location of that ward. So Santorin working around known information here, not trying to give over location yet. And that opens up possibilities for making a move on the bottom side of the map.
And I feel like the more common route would have been like blue to Gromp to, looking at top side. So theoretically, Solo has to play safe, knowing that they never saw Raptors, they never saw bottom sides. Maybe he's up there.
And early on in the Aatrox Kennen matchup, it does make the Aatrox have to seed some CS early on. Viper, you can see, getting a little bit of harassment down onto Solo, slowly pushing the wave into the turret. Gonna try and get some early damage. A lot of the early Kennen power does come from some turret damage and trying to get money off plates.
See how much he can get right here. It is Kleptomancy, so he's going to be doing even as much harassment as possible. Early Doran's Blade for the laning phase. We'll see where that transitions later on, but this wave is going to crash pretty soon, and sadly for them, it won't be with a jungler nearby. Unless you can get there fast enough, it's possible that he can crash with the wave, but timing's getting pretty tight.
Yeah, he's going to do the full clear, power clear on Olaf. Pretty common. Gets to the level 4 extremely quick, and you also get the benefit of respawning your camps extremely quickly, so you can try and get to that level 6 point. MikeYeung now slipping into the river, and we does see Santorin pick up the Scuttle Crab. Exchange a little bit of knowledge that the Rek'Sai's on top, but Solo's just playing under tower anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe Mike was spotted by the Scuttle walking over, so technically the Olaf wasn't spotted, but you do definitely know Santorin took top Scuttle and walked back into the jungle. So now Solo knows to be a little bit afraid of that side of that. And yeah, he's going to be just fine playing on a turret, as you mentioned, Kobe. Bot lane is shoved in. It looks like really almost nothing is denied. A couple of CS going to be dropped here, but not too bad.
And again, as we go over the lane matchups here for FlyQuest, they want to have these early pushing lanes. A lot of this game does hinge on them getting a lot of extra advantages. With the Rek'Sai coming through to try and support some of these, they really need to try and get some information on MikeYeung's whereabouts. Because that Olaf can turn everything around on one of these overextended solo lanes especially.
Yeah, because they are, and especially if it's like top or something, because it's so long. You chase them down forever, even flash, you're still chain slowed, you probably still die. And he's gotten back for an early red smite as well. So even with the time spent to recall, MikeYeung basically equal on farm overall against Santorin. Santorin's going to make his own recall very soon. And it's so far been treading water across these two junglers.
And if we look at the keystones he's chosen to, MikeYeung with the Conqueror is looking to be more of the carry style jungler, right? Sometimes you'll see Olafs go for Predator for those big impactful ganks and try and snowball lanes. But with the Conqueror, you can actually stack it up extremely quickly. This is what top lane Olaf players take. Hakuho going for a gank right now, though.
Spotted by Santorin. Tremor says actually saw that coming in, so Pobelter's running, and he knows Valkyrie to always get away from the anchor. So Hakuho doesn't even cast it right there. That was a bit, I guess, lucky that Santorin was tunneled and nearby. It's like, hey, this champion, get away.
Yeah, just came up with a little ping there. He actually is able to see the control ward, but Hakuho sticks around to defend his placement for a little bit.
Santorin this time around does feel safe, and without any tremors, he's like, okay, he's gone. We're fine. We can drop this one out. MikeYeung now, knowing that Rek'Sai is on the wrong side of the map, gets time to put a quick trinket ward down up towards that Gromp, hit the blast plant, and there's no ward on MikeYeung.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about for the solo lanes. Trying to have an impact.
This is the attempt. Solo is 6. Viper just hits it, though, and with the axe not landing, there's no gank to be had.
Buys Aatrox a little room to ensure that he can get the Kennen minion last hit there, at least, I guess, without some extra harassment from the Kennen, who is starting Doran's Blade, but definitely expect Viper to at least go half and half as far as the AP. Try and bring a little bit more of that, for the later stages of the game.
I was actually talking, you mentioned the half and half build where you can sometimes see like Gunblade on Kennen, for example. So talking with one of the, I forget if it was an EU player or an EU coach, might have been Bwipo. And he was saying that he thinks that Gunblade on Kennen is actually always wrong. If you build it for a losing matchup, you lose your matchup anyway. Why not build the better team fighting item and just go proto belt and have the better team fight regardless? That's all you're trying to do regardless. And I thought that was a really kind of compelling idea, and I'm kind of curious now watching through the games if that does happen. I do think Europe has better top laners overall, and so usually good advice if it's coming from an EU top laner.
All right, we'll see if he actually takes that advice. Santorin going to stick around for Scuttle Crab number 2 as it does spawn here. But so far, so good for the farming. Just got a fairly calm early game between these squads. WildTurtle and Wadid getting some poke out.
Big fight. Ult comes in for Viper. Keep in mind, Aatrox does not revive unless he gets an assist. It's just a trade of cooldowns, though. Damage going back and forth. And it looks like they can both feel fairly comfortable as Viper continues pushing.
Yeah, I think that ultimate trade super advantageous for Viper here. He might not have to use the teleport to get back to lane, in which case he could use the teleport for the bottom side play. Currently, Echo Fox going for the hard invade after seeing that exchange on top side. MikeYeung does move in with the bottom lane, steal away the red buff.
That's pretty nice right there. Also want to point out that Viper's cooldown is 30 seconds shorter than Solo's. So even if it's nothing but treading water, there's going to be a 30-second window where you got Slicing Maelstrom, but not World Ender.
Plus, he has to be super careful now. Solo doesn't have any vision on Santorin, and the turret plate is about to go down. So Viper's about to cash in. Meanwhile, Echo Fox making another power play on the bottom side of the map. MikeYeung starts up the dragon, and they're looking for their first objective.
They grab Sivir Nautilus really early on, and that duo lane has gone pretty well so far. Equal in farm, a quick early Cloud Drake, which is actually pretty big for a team that is mostly walking at you. Keep in mind that Sivir, Olaf, and Cassiopeia can only walk to get around things without summoner spells, so a pretty useful Cloud Drake, all things considered.
Definitely very, very powerful, especially for the Olaf players around. MikeYeung feeling pretty good about his start to this game. As we expected, it is going to be the super carry-oriented Olaf. It's going to be the warrior, probably into Black Cleaver afterwards for even more speed when you're able to land that physical damage and really chase people down.
You do have a front line. You do have that Nautilus, and Aatrox is pretty good if you get the assist, so maybe okay with that one. Phoenix not quite able to stop the recall, but at least he'll be able to wave clear and stack that tier no problem.
We do have your Proto Belt Phreak, so he hasn't gone the middle ground with the Gunblade and has decided to go full AP AoE burst for Viper and FlyQuest. I think that is a wise decision because they're going to need to make the fights very quick. You want to have a high impact burst damage to the team fight because they're not running with a tank.
absolutely the case. And I think Protobelt certainly makes sense when you have an advantage matchup as well. You don't need the lifesteal for really anything. He's probably running Ravenous Hunter regardless. Either way, you gotta watch out for this one as the Anchor's gonna come in, gonna find Turtle. Here comes the Roots over the top. He's gonna jump into the air with a flash in. Olaf's gonna do all the damage he possibly can, but first blood goes to Santorin. It's 1-0 so far. In goes Kennen now as well. Cannot quite find Apollo, doesn't find the Q either. Package doing a massive slow across the top, and now Phoenix, is he isolated? Goes for damage on Santorin. Almost enough damage, now it's a flash with Pobelter chases in, lands the Q, lands the rocket. 2 kills so far, one finally traded back as they answer on to Viper, but FlyQuest winning that fight.
Whoa, some split decision making here as it is 1-for-1 with all of the teleports used on the bottom side. What a party. After they entered the bottom half of the map, Viper charges 3 members up towards the turret. Let's take a look at this in the replay. So initially, WildTurtle does get hit with the hook, but it's already a preemptive ultimate from Wadid that lands the root. We have Rek'Sai go over there with Santorin, getting the ult and execute. The double teleports coming in. Viper chases up and to the right on Apollo, whereas Pobelter is looking to defend the rest of the team. So the 2 solo laners for FlyQuest split here, and Pobelter goes and gets the kill with the flash there onto Phoenix, but Viper then is left in the 3v1 as he chased the rest of the team up and to the right, and so both teams come away with a single kill.
Yeah, first blood with MikeYeung dying, definitely painful there as well. And now we have Echo Fox back on the map, but down 1,000 gold as a result overall. Turret plates still 3 minutes to go on those. Mid lane's really close overall, than 3 CS, though no big differences here other than Pobelter getting that kill, which is of course pretty nice. And well, signs are putting up for 10th place FlyQuest to get out of that location. They can tie Echo Fox with 9th if they close this one out, with 9 games to play afterwards. Push in for solo and easy farm out of the turret for Viper.
All right. No teleports left for anyone because Turtle did use his to get back to lane as well. So not only was that fight a big party on the bottom side, but so many summoner spells need to get tracked right now. They're not going to be available for the ensuing follow-up. Rift Herald is available. We're still in the turret plate stage of the game, so it has a much higher value for the next few minutes if they want to transition to the top side.
See if that comes through, because Solo has been able to push pretty reliably, but right now Scuttle Control is all for the blue team. You can see he has to dance around that one, put a trinket down, help to track Santorin. Echo Fox with the push on top are not getting this Herald yet.
All right, we do have the Herald started up by MikeYeung, looking for a little bit of vision control first. Feels like he's got it secured.
But they also know Solo's in Tri-Burst. They had a trinket over the wall and watched him walk over there, but looks like it still feels okay for them with
Whole team's coming.
Santorin coming around. Yeah, it's literally everyone from Echo Fox is on the top side of the map right now, and they have plenty of time to play with. His Solo's going to fight Viper, push him away from this one, and they've got to respect Santorin. Meanwhile, the entire rest of FlyQuest are up here as well, and we've got everybody up above this northern river. And the poor Rift Herald is going to walk back to home.
All right, going to be a reset for the bottom side of Echo Fox at least, as they recall for purchase here. I have to say there's a huge discrepancy in the power of the mid laners too, because Phoenix with all the scaling parts to his mana items right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's Pobelter on that Trinity Force from the kill that he got on the bottom side by chasing Phoenix down. So there's a huge amount of extra damage that Pobelter can output, whereas Phoenix is looking to build into the scaling mana items.
900 gold lead, definitely nothing to shake a stick at. Phoenix does have pretty much money to buy a Rod of Ages now. He can start transitioning pretty soon. He's got 1,500 inventory, as you can see right here. FlyQuest, though, back to the bottom side of the map in time, and are going to grab the Scuttle at the very least. Santorin getting almost all these, as far as I can tell. Doing really well with the vision, but not yet going for this Drake. Overall, up in gold 700 as well, is having a very good showing. And Santorin, one of the best junglers in the league in the previous split, I think has still been solid so far, though his team hasn't been great. But in this game, he is out jungling the Echo Fox newbie in MikeYeung.
Yeah, definitely got the better of the exchange on the fight on bottom side. Rek'Sai ultimate really effectively used to make sure that he gets the kill execution and get out. Plus able to get his farm lead, resulting in an extra level here. Now he's got the playmaking ability of the stopwatch. And even though there's a lot of vision over this dragon, trying to set up for it.
So far not pushing, but there we go. As the wave is shoved, Pobelter going to go back down to the river.
All right, I think the package, super underestimated. Now Pobelter's got package number 2. really helps in transitioning down to this dragon as well. FlyQuest do not hesitate to pick it up, and they will even the field. One Cloud Drake apiece.
All right, both teams are speedy. They're fast out of combat. They're even a little bit faster inside of combat. And the game still sits above 1,000 gold in the lead for FlyQuest side. Plates have dropped, Herald not yet taken, but you got 2 in the mid lane, which is pretty solid for Pobelter, and the farm is otherwise pretty close to equal in most roles. FlyQuest is building up towards more ability power. Nice jump in, lots of damage right there, Turtle. Gonna jump into the air, gonna get lots of roots off in a row, as it's a pretty easy setup for Yuumi, gets away, but does burn both of Wadid's summoner spells.
Whew. Apollo harassing under tower too, as that means they have to be very worried about this dive. And MikeYeung on the bottom side of the map forces the bottom side recall, but it's the start of the Rift Herald once again. FlyQuest trying to take this before they rotate up, but they see MikeYeung making a beeline for the top half, and they pull off of the Rift Herald.
Yeah, kills the control ward, and back they go. So still not that objective being taken. Instead, only uncontested Cloud Drakes through mid or bot lane pushing. And bot lane turret, though, getting very, very low. Turtle has to take the long recall back here. That was Hakuho setting that fight up, and with the damage dealt, it meant so much turret damage as a result. It's going to be a lot of money right now. You have 1,500 in Apollo's inventory, very close to finishing Essence Reaver here. Looks like that's the recall that's going to do it for him. And that'll be a gigantic power spike, basically tying what WildTurtle has.
Yeah, Essence Reaver huge for both of them.
The players are actually literally identical in gold right now, down to the 1.
Meanwhile, Phoenix completed the Rod of Ages, looking for the Seraphs next, gets his blue buff, level 11 now. Cassiopeia scaling very, very well. This Echo Fox squad definitely feels pretty confident as they start to move towards the later stages of the game. I wouldn't say that FlyQuest are, without scaling themselves though, so definitely still some decent answers. Pobelter going to pick up his own blue buff and head right back out, trying to harass with a lot of the missiles here from Corki early on. Is going to determine a lot of can they move out and get some of these wards, because if you look at the map right now, it's fairly dark, so they need to get a reset off, and Santorin plus Wadid to try and get some of those wards down. It's kind of difficult sometimes when you have the Yuumi, because Yuumi wants to stick on your AD carry, so it looks like Pobelter's going to go with Santorin to get that vision mission accomplished.
And lets them see that right side jungle as we have, wow, triple Cloud Drake to start the game out. 2.5 minutes till that comes back up, and someone's going to be slightly faster as a result. The first one means the most, especially with things like Cloud. There's actually more heavily weighted on this kind, so that'll be less important, even more than normal. Regardless, we see bot lane pushing in. Lots of time to go until these objectives come through. Herald's still not taken. Right now, it's actually warded by the Echo Fox side. And then we still continue to farm off right here. So, if the win condition was scale for Echo Fox, I believe this is, yep. We are waiting. Now that word didn't last very long. MikeYeung spots that one pretty quickly. Wow, 2 wards. What's that vision? 24 vision score. He's popping off. Santorin has 40 though, so it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, they're trading on the top side. It looks like they're making a circle around on to solo. There's no way to get out except for down through the FlyQuest jungle.
All right. Jumps one way over. Santorin's going to tunnel, though. Going to probably find a knock up here, but Phoenix can absolutely help. WildTurtle coming by as well with Yuumi. Going to find a slow and going to find some damage, but Solo is going to drop Vipers on the board for kill number 3 of the game.
All right, that should transition into the Rift Herald then, and you can really start moving this game along with some towers. Bottom side, Apollo is pushing for Echo Fox, seeing every member of FlyQuest on the top side. That results in the first tower of the game. The Rift Herald will be answered here very quickly for FlyQuest to try and get one back.
Yeah, I will take the turret finish every time. The Herald usually means half a turret by itself. The full one seems a bit better. Big farm lead for Apollo as well. Helps bring this game actually closer than it has been in a while. Herald, of course, will be taken. That will go over, no problem. Santorin grabs it. We'll see where he donates the gold. As the item spikes come through and the half Infinity Edge now done for Apollo.
I think we should continue to keep track of this discrepancy in vision. There are just so many wards here on the map for Echo Fox at the moment, and it's been difficult for FlyQuest to actually really recover. Top side, they just had WildTurtle and Wadid move up there and leave a few behind, but now they need to be on the bottom side of the map because Dragon is spawning once again. There's your third Cloud Drake, Phreak. 10 seconds left on that one. And Pobelter's heading top with the package. However, he does have teleport if they want to answer.
All right, now the lanes are moved around. Both top laners have been put down to the bottom side of the map because I think they're more concerned about the fact that Baron's spawning in 30 seconds than they are about the Cloud Drake being alive. That was cute. Really sussed it out. 200 IQ play there for the boy genius. There's actually a question in the pregame chat. Phoenix asked Santorin what he calls Pobelter. Do you call him by his alias or his real name? And he started listing all the aliases. Boy Wonder, 200 IQ, etc. I really enjoyed that.
The notorious POB
That was
has been playing for a long time.
He has.
All right, Phoenix actually getting pelted under the tower, and POB circling around.
Phoenix gonna completely miss the stun. They're still gonna chase in though. Big room coming across, and Olaf not gonna find anything yet. Pops the stopwatch, will be knocked up. Ults, flashes, one more hit, a double kill for WildTurtle. FlyQuest do no wrong in these fights. Wadid easily gets away from Hakuho as well, and FlyQuest are trapping Echo Fox. Pobelter knocked in the air, gets nothing back for it.
Paco was able to find him and get one back, but that was a huge play for FlyQuest. Mid-turret down, couple of extra kills for themselves, as well as picking up the Drake afterwards.
This is a nice pickup right here on top of the extra gold they've got. So 2,000 gold lead and a small Cloud Drake lead now as well.
Pobelter with the package flying right on by Phoenix as he tried to get the ultimate.
Good setup.
Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, Turtle throwing down some of the harassment with Wadid, and Phoenix, yeah, just looking like it's a little bit slow on that one. Firing it off at where Pobelter used to be. Then Pobelter gets healed up by Wadid, runs out to the top side as Turtle flashes in for the double kill. Wadid is able to slip back out on Yuumi, and the teleport not able to get off as Pobelter was trying to recall. Then there's no way out for him. Once the Nautilus ult is on him, Hakuho was able to ward the brush, get the Nautilus ult off, and the knockup would be able to interrupt the blast cone there. Just pops right up and straight in the air, and they're able to get one kill back.
There's the pickup. Pobelter managed to buy up the Infinity Edge though, so is going for the heaviest item that he can. Rapid Fire Cannon should be next, and he is scaling quite nicely. FlyQuest, of course, still up in gold and feeling pretty comfortable at this point. Over 2,000 gold ahead. They have certainly been getting the better of every single team fight they've been a part of.
2 Infinity Edges ready to roll for FlyQuest.
Yeah.
The only last component that they need is Viper ready with the Flash. He's got Flash and Ultimate plus a stopwatch. So he's ready to be a huge playmaker for the team fight. FlyQuest have all the tools right now to try and bring it together. So this is going to be a critical stage of the game. If they can actually move past this early gold lead, get that team fight victory, and try and actually capitalize with the Baron, that would be the way they can actually win the game and tie up Echo Fox in the standings. Currently, Echo Fox with a 1-game lead ahead of them in 9th place.
Maybe they can go up from there. Wait to see. Many more games to play. 10 more to round out the summer split, counting this one. See whose fates can be turned around. The Seraph's Embrace finally done, though, for Phoenix. He's essentially fully online now. The first 2-item spike is in there for Cassiopeia. Of course, grows from there, but that's where you really want to be pretty early on. Herald, though, summoned late in the top lane, and that will be another turret going down. So FlyQuest stretching this now 2-1 in turrets, as they had cracked mid lane a little while ago. And who's going to answer top lane tier 2, because it will at least take some damage. Looks like the charge should go through, but not much more than that.
Decent chunk of damage and some very, very good wards here as well. FlyQuest have been able to get back around the Baron, so they're putting this gold to pretty good use. Let's see if they can actually get their reset off and push out the lanes. Because now that they've got the top and mid tower down, all that's left is to knock down a little bit of extra pressure here on the bottom side of the map. Currently, Solo is trying to push it out on Aatrox, but we haven't really had any answers for Echo Fox yet. They need that Sivir speed boosted Nautilus and Engage to actually find a member of FlyQuest that's out of position. Because if you can get that, then you will be able to take down one of these squishies fairly quickly. You just have to watch out for all the stopwatches. Rek'Sai, Kennen.
Those are the two. Everyone else is ranged and fairly squishy. No defensive items other than the Athene's Unholy Grail and just Yuumi's kit, trying to keep people alive. So if you can find that squishy, that'll be nice. Echo Fox sitting in the top river. Anchor's going to find a Scuttle Crab, and Smite's going to go through for MikeYeung. So Vision top side is now theirs. Still nursing their gold deficit, but can maybe play for this Baron as it's alive and has been for 4 minutes. Ocean 90 seconds. That's going to be soloed by someone. You pretty much will not commit your team with Baron alive, so maybe the top laner helps the jungler, but that's probably it.
All right. Meanwhile, side lane trying to get pushed out here by Viper, working on that bottom side. Apollo and Hakuho easily able to hold the mid lane with Sivir's wave clear. So even though Echo Fox definitely on the back foot right now and down, they've got Sivir and Cassiopeia to rely on in the late game. So you should never give up with that sort of a backline carry. You've got a tank in the front line, at least one, plus the offensive-oriented Aatrox. And you just focus on your wave clear and your defensive warding. Try and not let the Barons slip away to FlyQuest. Shouldn't be that scary since FlyQuest aren't running a main tank and they would have to rely on Yuumi healing up whoever's trying to take that damage. And just try and keep a little bit of vision and continue getting more items on their hyper carries.
All right, scaling still the name of the game. 3 items in for solo now. Finished Death's Dance is nice. Stone Plate, so no cleaver. MikeYeung, I think, not being far enough ahead to keep going damage. He's going to quickly pivot up to more durability. Very frequently, you will see Cinderhulk on Olaf. He went for the more aggressive build. That did not pay off. 0, 2, and 1, sadly, has lost all the duels he's been a part of.
Yeah, I do like the pivot there.
Yeah.
You know, going from warrior to more defensive.
Once you realize, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is now a catch with Hakuho. Big slow coming across. Look how low he's getting. Had to ult to buy some space. Haven't now on cooldown. Very low health. Now Kennen around the walls. Nice stun, though, for Cassio. Gonna stop Viper in his tracks, and looks like that's the better snake. Piloted there by Phoenix. Chasing it now is Solo. Not gonna find the knockup, though. Yuumi disengaging pretty nicely. And now they're re-engaged towards Olaf. Pretty good damage. MikeYeung at half HP. Slowed down by Yuumi now as well. And Solo trying to run away now. Half HP and lower. Chunked down by Pobelter. Out they go. Echo Fox running out of health.
These Infinity Edge crits are really leaving a mark. Pobelter's able to chase off all of the offenders here from Echo Fox. Now, they've got nothing left to work with, and that means FlyQuest get the dragon. Even though there were no casualties, enough damage dealt to health bars to force Echo Fox off the map.
Echo Fox have yet to buy their way into anything. The only objective they've really gained was trade kills in fights they lost and a turret soloed by Apollo as other things are happening around the map. It has not been a good aggressive game for them so far. That's typically not what you expect with a player like MikeYeung. He's typically so aggressive, but his attempts have all been stopped by Santorin, who has been his better. 5-2, the scoreline in kills. Up 2 Drakes, up turrets. FlyQuest are doing a bit better. There's this easy wave clear for WildTurtle, who keeps scaling and scaling and scaling. He's up in items over his opposite member, even though he is down slightly in farm. The extra kills, extra turrets have put him ahead in items. When he goes to shop, he'll have more. Echo Fox can keep scaling, but I wonder if it's going to keep going badly for them.
Well, you see the effect there of the Yuumi poke as well as Pobelter with the rockets, and just one auto with the Trinity Force Infinity Edge from Corki, doing so much work on the support tank here from Hakuho because he doesn't have magic resist yet. It's very difficult for support players to become the main point on your front line.
Sure.
It's going to have to continue to farm it out quite a bit as Pobelter is able to shred right through him.
Yeah, you're really relying on things like being Alistair or Aftershock. Champions like Nautilus don't really have the same kind of cheating tank tools that Tom Kench with the double health bar or, again, Alistair Ultimate can really provide you. So you can absolutely always burn through Nautilus support.
Yeah. Echo Fox, they need to rely on forward momentum with Sivir speed boost and them getting the initiation.
Yep.
If they allow the FlyQuest members to poke them down beforehand, it will remove so much of the threat of the entire team composition. Everything is designed around that one rush. If you aren't able to get that big bum rush into the back line, and FlyQuest are going to slowly wear you down.
Well, that's kind of the problem for Echo Fox. They can't really rely on rush anymore. It's
Go ahead. Couple of... I was going to let you finish.
I had nothing else. I
right
petered out.
The double rapid fire cannons, I was going to say, are just going to really accentuate that problem.
Yeah.
The extra range now for Pobelter and WildTurtle allow them to chunk down Hakuho or MikeYeung before the fight even starts and without getting into range where you're really in danger of the Nautilus ultimate, of the hooks coming through. So rapid fire is being completed now. I think FlyQuest should really look for the offensive play. Look at that already landing on MikeYeung.
And big damage. Those pokes are going to be really nice. Double RFC is a really good point right here. Kobe is now Viper and Solo are in battle. But by the way, Solo, true to his name, is completely alone. If they want to go for the wall, they could. But instead, there's the Righteous Glory. There's Sivir Ultimate. And there is no engage whatsoever.
I like that hold from Viper. You know that took a lot of self-control not to flash over the wall after and go for the kill there, but the flash on Kennen is so important. That is so much for FlyQuest. They lose a lot of threat in the 5-on-5 if they don't have that. Plus, as you mentioned, Righteous Glory, Sivir speed boosts are there on the side of Echo Fox. They're looking for the counter engage. So really nice hold there for FlyQuest, not overextending, even though they did get an early advantage in it. And it will result in the bottom turret. Oh, Baron might get started, though.
Oh, that's going to be spicy. Of course, Viper does not have TP right now. Echo Fox, though, can only clear the wards. There's still some around, so MikeYeung spotted running away from the pit. They know they're safe. Instead, that turret is taken for nothing. We watched the gold not really stretching for a very long time. It's been very equal for a while, and this is partially FlyQuest not having good engage tools. They have to play neutral game a lot.
All right. Package picked up once again. Gives Pobelter a lot of extra power here through the Baron area. I mean, one of the biggest understated parts is that you do go unstoppable with the package. So you have kind of a super free escape. You know, even if Echo Fox do look to try and catch you in one of these aggressive ward moves, it does give you a little bit of a trump card. So FlyQuest make another nice move. They clean the Baron area. They're going for a 2v1 bottom.
Solo trying to find Viper right here, but indeed, WildTurtle is around. Can't find the root, though, but Pobelter's here now as well. 3v1 to the bottom side, but that means the Echo Fox are going to go for the other side of the map. So here comes the rush. Now the question is, can it be stopped? Viper still no teleport. Pobelter and Turtle can, though. They can bring in 3 members. But Yuumi was not attached to any one of them. So it's the 3 versus the 4, and the 4 are running away to the wrong side of the map. They don't have a good way out. They can kill minions, but they will eventually be surrounded as the rest of the squad is coming over.
Turtle's the gatekeeper right now, holding off their pathway back to their own base as Pobelter just shoots rockets from the side.
And they're not committing to running to the right-hand side. They're giving more space for FlyQuest to come over. This is going to be a complete whitewash here as Echo Fox are still stuck in the corner, and now Viper is here. This is assuredly going to be a win for FlyQuest. 5-on-4, stuck in the corner. Fox now willing to go forward. Here comes the dive. Kennen over the top. 1 for 0. Make it 2. Make it 3. Echo Fox refused to run, and instead they die, and Baron will go to FlyQuest.
What a clean sweep for FlyQuest. That is going to result in the Baron, and that is going to be a rich, rich FlyQuest team.
And I cannot do anything but hate on how Echo Fox played that fight. They know Viper can come, and they didn't just run through someone to try to get away. Instead, 4 for nothing, and Baron just hemmed into the corner.
All right, you're working against the clock at this point because they're down a person. They know that the Kennen's coming. Like you're talking about, they have Sivir ultimate, so their best hope is to pop the Sivir ultimate.
Run past Turtle.
Rush by, but right after Turtle ults the hook here, they decide to turn around into the waiting arms of Viper. Flash ready for Kennen, despite what the spectator is going to show here. And he's going to walk around the miasma. Flash from Santorin, flash from Viper, gets in, huge AoE, and they are able to just destroy Echo Fox. No answer for them, and that is going to be a clean sweep of the map and objectives as well.
Yep.
Baron picked up, Dragon picked up, and here comes that siege.
Delayed ace, even the Drake picked up afterwards. Second Ocean makes sieging trivial. You are always topped off. They can do almost anything they want. There's the gold lead going up 5,000 in almost an instant. And this is going to be a lot of the base falling away. Echo Fox have lost, I think, all of their opportunities.
Really good patience in this game, I think, by FlyQuest. Not overextending, not over-chasing when they don't need to. Waiting for their opportunity, and as soon as they get the advantage, pushing so heavily and taking everything in this match. Looks like FlyQuest have their eyes on that tie with Echo Fox. They can get this victory, start moving up the standings in the second half. It's gonna be huge for them.
Oh, Turtle, okay,
Pobelter,
he almost gets the kill, but now a root with Hakuho has to flash away now as well, and Solo not gonna find much out here either. Miasma gonna stop the re-engage though, and It will be the stop and the wait, but keep in mind the region for FlyQuest makes them completely safe here. And Viper concedes the bottom lane. The rest of the squad can keep pushing mid.
Pobelter goes in for the flash, and Apollo survives with under 50 HP. Oof. Incredibly close at taking him down. He has been able to heal in the fountain, though, and they're trying to ward off this Baron siege, but they just don't have the firepower.
Yeah, they're not going to stop middle from dropping before too long. The inhibitor is open itself, and Viper is able to shove in yet another wave, and bot lane's probably going to follow suit pretty soon. There goes mid. They can collapse towards bot, or they can simply walk through on more their side of the map. Either way, turret's getting lower. One more auto attack. Down it goes. And FlyQuest could open the second inhibitor. Solo kills over, but not looking for the engage right now. Will there be a route forwards? Or does EchoFox choose to lose another structure and wait out for more time? 45 seconds on the Baron buff. You have to imagine during this wave or the next that inhibitor will fall and the reset will happen.
All right, they've got another wave coming in. Baroned up. Is this going to be the last stand? Ooh, a lot of poke goes down, and the inhibitor's almost about to fall. Will Solo flank?
I don't know if you do it with the turret already gone. It's going to be that one wave clear, but still 20 seconds on Baron. The wave is coming. A single auto attack will kill it. Turtle can do it. Or Pobe with the Valkyrie without much issue. This wave, though, I think it still falls for the reset. But maybe with the Baron buff falling off and the gold not spent, that's your opening. In 10 seconds, you hit every button on your keyboard and you hope it's enough to kill. Damage to the Santorin, still not quite going. There is the play. With Baron buff gone, this is the play. Can they find it? The Huckafox gonna hope for something, but no, immediately turn back around. They cannot find their way in. Even with Sivir, even with Nautilus, it's not gonna happen. There's the anchor forwards, but Viper has the ult. Protobol's forward. One kill, make it a second. Solo can't do enough flashes, but not to safety. It's 3 kills already. Inhibitor falling, make it a 4th as well. That's gonna be the win. FlyQuest will indeed take down EchoFox, and they will tie for 9th. They begin to claw their way back up the standings.
Triple kill at the end for WildTurtle. They're looking for one more. The fountain!
To add to the KDA, it's going to go to Santorin 4, 1, and 8. The ace, 15-3. One of those deaths being on the fountain. FlyQuest handily take down EchoFox.
Whew. FlyQuest coming off their 4th place finish in spring. Had much higher hopes for summer and had such a rocky start. Switching some players out, bringing Wadid onto the stage, and now they've got their first win there with Wadid in the lineup.
Yeah.
This could be a sign of new things to come for the team.
Maybe it will. A hard-fought victory. Slow and steady did work out in the end for FlyQuest. We'll see them, of course, tomorrow as well, as they have played every team in North America once and ended 2-7. Not as good as they wanted to be, but there's still 9 more games to play. And if you make it good enough, I mean, their postseason is definitely still alive. The chance at playoffs, I think they can make the run if they start playing really, really well. And even if they don't make playoffs, they probably make the regional qualifier. Yep. So there is an end in sight, and a good end in sight for FlyQuest, even though 2-7 does look bad right now.
Yeah, definitely some marked improvements this time around. I thought they really did show some coordination and a lot of restraint in a lot of areas of the early game. They knew they had this lead and used the pressure quite well.
They really did. They had vision in a lot of good spots. They've managed to get a couple of drakes back. Pobelter outlaned Phoenix on the Corki, took 2 plates, I think, by himself without really without much help at all, and then even transitioned down to the team fight in the bot lane and got more advantages there as well. So, good game for him. Santorin, I think, definitely outjungled MikeYeung overall. Solid performance kind of down the line, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what FlyQuest were looking to do. They talked about it a little bit before the match, take advantage of MikeYeung being in and maybe not having the best coordination with the team. Yeah, that fight on the bottom side, that was just outplaying in the skirmish, right? Really well done by Santorin, utilizing the ultimate.
Well done for FlyQuest, and for more on that win, we got an interview with the news member to join the victorious team.
Let's go. Thanks, guys. Wadid, congratulations on the win. The first win for FlyQuest since, I believe, week 2, and your first win with the team. Clearly, this was a victory that you guys needed. So what were your thoughts coming out of that game?
Wow, finally I broke my losing streak. Holy moly, man. I'm so happy. And then, since I joined this team, I do believe that, we can actually come back so hard, because I feel like our team is really, really good. And I feel like I'm getting better as well. So I'm really confident in myself and my team.
I want to ask you about you and your team's play, but first, I want to talk about that top lane play right around Baron. Tell me about it, because it looks so calculated from you guys.
Okay, so basically, if you want to see those kind of play from the team, then you need to be calm and collected. And then we were so calm and collected in communication. Like, we knew that Kennen has no TP, so we were waiting for him. Like, Omran, Viper was calling that he cannot be there, so wait for 20 seconds, and we are like, okay, guys, we wait. Hey, we fight now then. He's here, so like, it was really calm and collected, and it felt really great.
I like that. So then tell me about this version of FlyQuest then. Has it improved since the FlyQuest that we've seen for the beginning of the split? Because at first it seemed like you guys were a little lost or couldn't really find the team identity.
Maybe some people are talking about like JJ was a problem, but I really don't think JJ was a problem. It was like more like team problem. So me and JJ tried to fix and work together to fix the team problem. And finally, we reached out and we are improving in scrims as well. And everything is going great. So like we are actually just work together as a team and it feels so good.
And because this is the first time I believe we've spoken with you on stage, how are you fitting in with FlyQuest? Tell me about you joining the team.
I mean, first, like, it was like it was not 100% my choice because it was trade, right? It was trade situation. But when I heard that FlyQuest was like interested in me, like I felt so happy because FlyQuest has so many good players. I felt like, oh, I can do something with these players. I can actually win something. So that's why I felt really great and I'm really motivated. So I feel like we can do something this year.
We are all super excited to see it, but something that I think the fans are even more excited to see, we all want to see the Wadab.
Okay, let's do it and run out, okay? 3, 2, 1.
State Farm Analyst Desk, let's go!
I love it. Thank you very much, Avali. Loving the confidence coming off of Wadid there after their second win of the split. He's saying that he believes the team has all of the tools and the potential to come back from what has been a kind of devastating start for our fourth place team in spring.
I wanted to come into my life and tell me everything's okay. Like
life coach Wadid, right?
Amazing here.
But they did. They picked up a very necessary win here against a struggling Echo Fox with MikeYeung in the lineup.
Yeah, and I think both teams actually listened to the same win condition of scale. Both mid laners and bot laners were scaling with, relatively strong top laners. And the big thing that FlyQuest did better than Echo Fox this game was execute. Like, this skirmish easily could have gone either way. Hakuho could have flashed and rooted the Yuumi on top of the grounded from the miasma. Doesn't do that, and FlyQuest plays a lot more confidently. They're the one forcing the plays. And then these things could easily go wrong if they play better, but here, another misexecution by Echo Fox, because to Crumbs' point from the top of the day, they're putting them under the pressure.
It's a team that was in playoffs last spring. This is definitely a team that has all the tools. Not a whole lot has changed, so clearly it's the morality that needs to change for them. So I think that this win...
The morality? Their morality needs to change?
I don't know quite. I was hoping you wouldn't mention that.
I was actually chaotic good. We need to become lawful good.
Oh, I love it.
Listen, this play is so bad. Why didn't you engage? Why didn't you engage on them, Fox?
You're talking about Fox, yeah.
Fox, like, their turn just makes no sense. You got a Nautilus...
Chickens with their heads cut off, man.
Yeah, like, this is bad. Them running out, there's just no chance. They're getting poked down. I love when Phreak was just saying, they're already doomed. Like, 20 seconds into this is a doomed position.
Viper's got the flank position.
It was one of those things where, like, oh, the enemy's bot lane, let's force Baron and forget about the fact that 3 or 4 people have TP in this game. And then once they realize they're TPing in, it's like we have to run through them. If we don't do anything, we die. And then they do nothing and die. So it was probably a doomed position, but you always want to see people make the effort. Like, once they pop that Sivir ult and get the Xayah ult up, then, like, really go. Just run at them. You have nothing else to do.
I want to rewind us back to the start, because I have a problem with this game. And
all right.
The fact, and it starts with the junglers here. They didn't gank at all. They didn't do anything early game. And when you're playing a jungle that is a Rek'Sai or an Olaf that's very strong early game, you need to get your lanes ahead. You got to use that flash to get your laners ahead. And so, yeah, you might be wanting to farm 24/7, but if you just flash in mid lane one time, you trade flash for flash, now suddenly your mid laner has pressure, and then that lets you continue to farm. The same thing with another lane. Trade your jungler's flash for a laner's flash so your laner can have pressure. That's not happening.
Well, especially when you were the one calling for the FlyQuest to be emulating G2 style because you have aggressive WildTurtle and Viper has all these crazy pocket picks. This is one of the differences is they have almost double the jungle proximity for Wunder, who's not even that high in the European. Viper's dead last in the LCS in terms of jungle proximity. They're not doing much to snowball him, in these kind of counter picks.
Right.
Kennen versus Aatrox is not the most creative counter pick to begin with, but we want to see more out of FlyQuest. This was a nice first step, but they did it by basically playing scaling and beating up a team that's completely disorganized.
Right.
And to Crumbs' point, they still have a lot of things they can do if they want to emulate that kind of aggressive style.
Viper has the potential to be a wonder in the LCS in terms of play style and how he, fills a role for his team. But the support needs to be there in order for him to fulfill that duty. Either way, FlyQuest picks up a very necessary win here to move to 2-7 in the first round robin. We're stepping away. When we return, it's the battle at the top between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. You won't want to miss it.